is FiFi rising into the sky? What's pulling him up there? Will he survive? And what happens to him in the sky will leave you absolutely speechless. To see the unexpected, watch now!
In a stunning underwater world, there lived a little fish named FiFi. FiFi was entirely pale, unlike the other fish with their colorful scales. Although they teased him for being too plain, FiFi didn't care. He responded to such negative opinions with a smile. FiFi didn't have parents or siblings. Luckily, FiFi had a few friends who loved and accepted him just the way he was. Despite some mean big fish liking to pick on him, whenever FiFi was in trouble, these friends would come to the rescue. FiFi was thankful for his kind friends and enjoyed exploring the big underwater world with them. Every day, they discovered new and strange sea creatures and plants, making their days full of happiness. But as the evening approached, when their friends were called home by their mothers for dinner, a sense of loss would wash over him. He would be alone, slowly eating the food he found, anticipating the arrival of tomorrow so he could see his friends again. Lost in these thoughts, he shed a tear, his vision blurred, and before he knew it, he drifted off to sleep. And so, this was how FiFi spent each day beneath the sea, full of both joy and a touch of sadness. One day, FiFi went out to play alone. As it explored, a mysterious creature with a blurry appearance suddenly emerged behind FiFi. Its eyes glowed a fiery red, and it ominously approached, getting closer and closer to FiFi. The creature continued its slow advance. Suddenly, a laser beam shot towards the monster, causing it to hastily retreat.
FiFi, how did you not notice the monster behind you?
It was FiFi's friends who had just saved the day.
That creature has been appearing several times. We were worried you might get into trouble sooner or later.
FiFi felt grateful for its friends who always came to its aid when needed. FiFi and its friends were eager to find out what the red-eyed monster was. However, the clues they saw were too vague, making it impossible to track down the identity of the creature. So, the quest to uncover the mystery of the monster remained unresolved. The next day, sunlight flooded FiFi's home, rousing him from sleep. Something felt off today. His body felt weirdly stiff, like an invisible force was holding him down. Panic surged through FiFi, tears welling up in his eyes. It was as if an unseen hand was pulling him against his will, making his head go up while his tail hung limply down. Fish usually swim horizontally, but FiFi was going against the norm, and he couldn't do anything about it. He desperately wanted to scream for help, but no sound came out. FiFi's friends heard rumors about his strange behavior and swam over excitedly. They expected an aquatic spectacle, but instead, they found FiFi with tears streaming down his face. Clearly in agony, shocked and confused, they asked him what happened, wondering if he'd had a stroke. FiFi opened its mouth, attempting to speak, but no words came out. As his friends attempted to seize FiFi, they found his strength to be overpowering. Although his entire body remained motionless, he continued ascending. Ingeniously, they procured a fishing net and cast it downward, hoping to ensnare FiFi and halt his ascent. What a brilliant plan! However, the alarming twist came when FiFi unexpectedly pierced through the iron-hard fishing net, leaving his friends utterly astonished. As FiFi continued ascending, his friends found themselves powerless and in tears. They realized that if FiFi kept ascending, there would be no way out, as fish cannot survive without water. FiFi was approaching the surface, prompting his friends to bid him farewell. They hoped FiFi could forgive their inability to help and expressed gratitude for the companionship over the past few years. Tears welled up in FiFi's eyes as he longed to bid a farewell to his friends, his heart brimming with unspoken love and gratitude. Despite his deep desire to express these feelings, silence hung in the air. The dreaded moment unfolded as FiFi emerged from the ocean, his friends watching with tearful eyes. With each ascent, FiFi felt a growing distance from his friends, now out of the ocean's embrace, unable to see the cherished faces he held dear. Unexpectedly, FiFi surpassed the threat of death. FiFi persisted in its ascent, gracefully soaring like a flying fish toward the sky. Suddenly, a seagull appeared. It was overjoyed to witness a clumsy fish flying out of the sea and presenting itself as a meal. Is this what humans call food delivery? What a fortunate day! It quickly opened its beak to take a bite. However, it felt an electric shock throughout its body. The seagull, startled and injured, patted its wounded self, lamenting its misfortune, and hastily flew away. FiFi's body remained completely unharmed. He was only frightened, thinking it might end up buried in the seagull's belly. Fifi persisted in its ascent, soaring ever higher into the sky. The intense sunlight bathed his fish scales, causing a discomforting blend of pain and itchiness throughout his body. In the midst of this unease, Fifi had a whimsical thought. If things kept going this way, he would soon become a grilled fish for dinner. Fifi often found humor in adversity. His friends appreciated his optimistic nature. Soon, every drop of water on Fifi's body evaporated, and he felt a fiery heat rapidly spreading throughout his now dry body. He screamed in agony, or more accurately, in the silence of his heart. Why had he met such a fate? Isn't it said that good deeds lead to good outcomes? Fifi couldn't accept that the universally recognized principle of karma was, in fact, a lie. Abruptly, the flames on Fifi's body vanished with astonishing speed. Fifi's eyes darted left and right, and a wave of panic washed over him. Oh my god, am I going crazy? Fifi wondered. To Fifi's surprise, the sky started snowing around him. The snow, upon touching Fifi's warm body, immediately turned into water, quickly moistening Fifi's skin. Fifi felt much better. Fifi was grateful that the universe always seemed to lend a hand when he was in danger. However, soon enough, Fifi sensed that something wasn't quite right. His body was becoming colder and colder. It turned out that the snowfall was intensifying. The pain at this moment was indistinguishable from the pain of the previous minutes. The biting cold air penetrated his entire body, piercing every inch of his skin like needle pricks. Numbness enveloped his body, gradually spreading and engulfing every single cell. Fifi thought, now, I'm going to become a frozen fish very soon. I have to make an effort to lift the corners of my mouth. I hope when you see me in the supermarket, you'll encounter a happy frozen fish. Fifi often finds joy in adversity, frequently making jokes about himself to keep his spirits up. In reality, Fifi's heart was very unwilling. He wanted to see firsthand the person or thing that has tortured him like this. That's why he never bows to harsh tests. He was determined to personally confront the mysterious villain who has tortured him to the point of extreme pain. Fifi was extremely exhausted. He couldn't go on. His eyelids feel like they've been weighed down by two large stones, too heavy for it to open them again. He knew that the last second of his life had arrived. At this moment, a voice emerged.
Fifi, besides your friends, do you have any regrets in your life?
Fifi immediately thought of the legendary park, where he heard there were flowers, grass, and trees. There, no water was needed, and plants could still grow. Many fish said the park was a very happy place. He hoped that one day he could go to the park, lie on the grass, and feel the warmth of the grass. He envisioned himself wearing sunglasses, bathed in the sun's gentle rays. At this moment, the surrounding white environment quickly turned green. There were flowers, there was grass. Is this the park? Fifi asked. At this point, all the pain in Fifi's body disappeared, and he became energetic and comfortable. The warm air from the land gently rose through the grass, and Fifi lying on the grass felt warm. Wow, this is the legendary warmth. I've finally experienced it, Fifi exclaimed, brimming with joy. Fifi thought if his friends could lie on the grass together and enjoy the sunshine, that would be such a happy thing. Fifi always loves to share beautiful moments with friends. This little fish from the ocean has finally set foot in the paradise of the land, basking in the warmth of the sun. I am grateful, and in this life, there are no more regrets, Fifi silently recited in his heart. Suddenly, the park flashed into a sky full of stars. A pair of eyes shining with red light stared at Fifi, causing an extreme sense of terror. Fifi felt extremely frightened, because he found these eyes to be very familiar, as if he had seen them somewhere before. Yes, he found it, the underwater monster. So, you've been tracking me from behind all this time, just to kidnap me. Why? Fifi asked. The monster replied, because the time has come. Fifi asked anxiously, is it time to send me to heaven? The monster affirmed with certainty, yes, it's right now. At this moment, Fifi felt a force moving rapidly in his stomach and other parts of his body, and this force was rapidly intensifying. Fifi felt dizzy and extremely uncomfortable. It felt like his whole body exploded, especially his heart. Fifi knew that his life was coming to an end. Suddenly, a burst of explosion echoed. The explosion sound came from Fifi's heart. Fifi knew that his doomsday had finally arrived. Strangely, his heart only had a slight ache, accompanied by a powerful force emanating from it. Fifi felt energetic, with boundless physical strength. The strength in his robust body was 10 million times greater than before. He could even see clearly the monster in front of him, unlike before when he only saw a pair of terrifying red eyes. Specifically, it was a red dragon, the very one that had plagued him. pushing him to the brink of immortality. Strangely, for some reason, FiFi didn't hate him. Instead, he felt a sense of familiarity. "Hello, FiFi Water Dragon, my brother," the red dragon said with a smile. "What did you say, Water Dragon?" FiFi was puzzled. "Look at your hands," the red dragon said. FiFi found it a bit amusing and replied, "I only have a tail. Where did hands come from?" At that moment, FiFi realized he now possessed hands and feet. He had undergone a transformation into a dragon. The fire dragon told FiFi that he had actually been quietly protecting him all along. He hoped that FiFi could learn how to survive in challenging environments, and was pleased to see that FiFi not only had a group of friends who loved him but, most importantly, had learned to find joy even in moments of solitude. The recent series of tests had demonstrated his perseverance and brave spirit, qualifying him to oversee the ocean. FiFi's evolution stirred more fear than joy within him. He conveyed to the fire dragon, "I have hundreds of questions for you. But for now, my utmost desire is to go see my friends and assure them I'm still alive. We can chat later." Having spoken, FiFi immediately flew into the sea to find his friends. His clairvoyant eyes quickly locked onto their location. When he appeared in front of them, his friends felt extremely frightened. In that moment, FiFi promptly reverted to his original form. His friends were overwhelmed with joy, thinking they had lost FiFi forever. FiFi recounted the exhilarating experience to them, expressing gratitude for their selfless protection in the past. Now armed with superpowers, it was time for him to reciprocate and safeguard them. FiFi had risen to the role of king in the underwater world, endowed with the absolute ability to fulfill his friends' every desire. With a profound understanding of the value of gratitude, he never forgot the kindness his friends had shown him in the past. So FiFi inquired about his friends' current desires. Their response was heartfelt.
We simply wish to play with you, as we did before. May we?
And so, these three fish joyfully frolicked together, recreating the happiness they once shared.
Thanks for watching. No long speeches today. Our views are so low, even crickets stop tuning in. Just drop a like and subscribe. See ya.